Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our honor to Madam Mariam Shamila. We are from KBA 24938. Today, we would like to present about Hibah new mechanism in estate planning. Before further discussion, let me introduce my group members. First is me as the first presenter. My name is Nur Elena Hani binti Rosli. Second presenter, my friend Siti Nur Aisyah binti Azman. And our last presenter also my friend Siti Raini binti Musa. So let's start with the introduction to estate planning. Estate planning is about preparing for the transfer and management of a person's assets during their lifetime and after they pass away. The goal is to ensure the person's wishes are carried out and their assets are distributed according to their preferences, while also minimizing taxes and protecting the assets for their heirs or beneficiaries. Next, we move on to the emergence of Hibah in modern finance. Hibah is the Islamic concept of voluntary gift giving. It has become more important in modern finance as Muslims seek financial solutions that align with Islamic principles. Some key reasons why Hibah has emerged in modern finance. First, Muslims want financial practices that follow Islamic teachings like avoiding interest. Second, conventional estate planning may not fully address the needs and preference of Muslims, so Hibah provides an alternative. Third, as Islamic finance has grown, there is more focus on developing wealth management solutions that incorporate Hibah. Fourth, Hibah is flexible and can be used for things like passing on wealth to the next generation, charitable giving, and protecting assets, making it a valuable tool in modern financial planning for Muslims. Next point is the pillars of Hibah. Hibah is an Islamic concept of gifting, where a person voluntarily transfer ownership of their property to another without expecting anything in the return. The pillars of Hibah include the donor, Wahib, who give the gift, the recipient, Mawhub, who receive the gift, the gift itself, Mahub, which is the item or property being transferred, and the offer and acceptance, Segah, which is the clear agreement between the donor and the recipient. These elements ensure that the transaction is consensual and transparent, reflecting the principles of generosity and charity in Islam. Next point is the concepts and conditions of Hibah. The key conditions for a valid Hibah in Islam are: first, intention to give. The person making the gift, the donor, must have the clear intention and desire to give the gift. This intention must be present at the time of the transfer. Second point, transferable property. The gift must be something that can be legally owned and possesses. This excludes things like future earning, debt owed to the donor, and items that are not yet in existence. Third point, immediate and unconditional transfer. The transfer of ownership must be immediate and unconditional. The donor cannot place any conditions or stipulations on the recipient's use or ownership of the gift. Furthermore, Hibah plays an important role in Islamic wealth management in several ways. First, proactive wealth distribution. Hibah allows individuals to proactively distribute their wealth during their lifetime, rather than relying solely on the Islamic inheritance laws for it after death. This can help ensure a more equitable distribution of wealth aligned with Islamic principles. Second, providing for family and others. Hibah enables individuals to provide for their family members as well as others in need during their lifetime. This can help fulfill the Islamic obligation of taking care of one's dependents and the less fortunate. And third is estate planning tool. Hibah can be used as a tool for estate planning, allowing individuals to distribute their assets in a manner that aligns with their wishes and Islamic principles, potentially avoiding disputes or complication after their death. Let's move on to the fundamentals of wills and trusts. In conventional estate planning, wills and trusts are commonly used to distribute one's assets after death. Wills. A will is a legal document that specifies how a person's property should be distributed upon their death. It allows the individuals to designate beneficiaries and outline their wishes for the distribution of their assets. Trust. A trust is a fiduciary arrangement where a third party, the trustee, holds and manages assets on the behalf of the beneficiaries. Trust can be used to distribute assets according to the grantor wishes, potentially providing tax benefits and avoiding probate. Okay, now we will discuss about the conventional estate planning, pros and cons. The main advantages of conventional estate planning through wills and trusts are: first, specifying wishes. Wills and trusts allow individuals to specify how they want their assets to be distributed after their death, providing a degree of control and certainty. Next, potential tax benefits. Trusts, in particular, can be structured to potentially reduce estate taxes and other tax liability. However, the main drawbacks of conventional estate planning are: first, complexity and cost. The process of creating and managing wills and trusts can be complex, time-consuming, and expensive, often requiring the assistance of legal and financial professionals. Second, lack of lifetime wealth distributions. Wills and trusts do not allow for the proactive distribution of wealth during the individual's lifetime, as is possible with the Islamic concept of hibah.
Thank you, Edna Hanim, for your good explanations on your parts. So, for my part, I'm going to discuss on the subtopic for this the main topic of Hibah, which is Hibah versus wills, the ideological and the practical differences. Let's start by looking at the ideological differences between Hibah and wills. First, the underlying principles. Hibah is based on Islamic teachings that emphasize charitable giving, family welfare, and the equal distribution of wealth. In contrast, wills in the Western tradition focus more on individuals' legacy and control over their assets. Next is motivation for wealth transfer. Hibah is primarily driven by spiritual reasons such as fulfilling religious obligation and seeking blessings in the afterlife. And wills, on the other hand, are often motivated by personal, emotional, and social consideration like leaving a lasting impact or maintaining family dynamics. And third is timing of transfers. Hibah involves voluntary transfers of wealth during the donor's lifetime, but wills, in comparison, dictate the distribution of asset after the testator's death. In summary, the key of ideological differences is lie on the underlying principles, motivation, and timing of the wealth transfers. Hibah is rooted in Islamic teaching and spiritual consideration, while wills reflect more individualistic and Western approach to legacy and asset distribution. Let's now explore the practical differences between hibah and wills. First, the flexibility and revocability. Hibah transfers can be more flexible and potentially recoverable by the donor. Wills, once executed, are typically more rigid and irrevocable after the testator's passing. Second is treatment of heirs. Hibah may have specific guidelines or customary practices regarding the shares allocated to different family members, focusing on fairness and the equity. But wills, on the other hand, can provide the testator with more discretion on distributing the asset which may or may not align with the traditional family expectation. And last key is legal and tax implication. The legal frameworks and tax consequences surrounding hibah and wills can differ insignificantly depending on the jurisdiction and the applicable laws. In summary, the practical differences between hibah and wills lies on their flexibility and revocability, the treatment of heirs, and the legal and tax implication. Hibah transfer can be more flexible and revocable with a focus on fairness and equity, while wills offer more discretion to the testator but are typically more rigid and irrevocable. Now, we move to the next subtopic, which is trust and hibah, a synergistic approach which combining the strength of trust and hibah, where hibah and wills have different approach, but they can be combined to create effective wealth transfer and legacy planning strategies. And key benefit of integrating trust and hibah. Let's explore the key benefits of this combined approach. First is flexibility and control. Trust can provide a structured framework that allows donors to maintain control and flexibility, similar to the Hibah approach. Incorporating trust into the Hibah plan can enable donors to customize the distribution of their assets while adhering to Islamic principles. Second is intergenerational wealth preservation. Trust can help preserve and manage family wealth over multiple generations, aligning with the Hibah focus on family welfare intergenerational transfer. Combining trust and hibah can ensure the continuity of the family's legacy and the responsible management of their asset across generations. Third is charitable and social impact. The charitable giving and social welfare aspect of hibah can be enhanced through the use of trust, which can support specific philanthropic causes of community initiative. Trust can provide a structured and sustainable platform for implementing hibah, inspired charitable giving, potentially implying the overall social impact. Last but not least is tax and legal consideration. Integrating trust within a hibah-based wealth transfer strategy can help navigate complex legal and tax implications, leveraging the expertise and structure available in both traditions. Careful planning and professional guidance are crucial to ensure compliance with the relevant laws and regulations while maximizing the benefit of this combined approach. By blending the strength of trust and hibah, individuals and families can develop comprehensive wealth transfer and legacy planning strategies that offer flexibility, intergenerational wealth preservation, and enhanced social impact. Next discussion is narrative of inheritance that provide the example of two case studies on hibah impacts on families, which highlighting the successes and challenges encountered. First is case study based on a Ibrahim family. The Ibrahim family, consisting of a husband, wife, and 3 children, decided to utilize hibah as the primary mechanism for the intergenerational wealth transfer. They crafted a detailed hibah plan that allocated specific assets and a proportion to each family member, including provision for future generations. And the successes were hibah plan foster open communication and family unity. As the parent involve all children in this decision-making process, the structured approach of hibah enabled the family to ensure a fair and equitable distribution of their assets, reinforcing the Islamic principles of inheritance. By proactively planning, the Ibrahim family was able to minimize potential conflicts and disputes that could have arisen from a more ad hoc approach. And the challenges is navigating the legal and tax implication of the hibah transfer requires extensive research and professional guidance, which added complexity to the process. Ensuring the long-term preservation and responsible Management of the gifted assets required the family to establish robust governance structures and contingency plans. Next case study, the Aminah Trust. Aminah, a successful entrepreneur, established a trust to facilitate the distribution of her assets according to the principle of Hibah by incorporating trust mechanism. She aimed to balance her desire for control and flexibility with the Islamic principle of inheritance. In the successes, the trust structure allowed Amina to tailor the distribution of her assets to align with her personal values and philanthropic goals. The trust governance framework ensured the responsible stewardship of assets with built-in safeguards to protect the long-term interests of her beneficiaries. Amina Hibah's inspired trust strategy enabled her to make a significant social impact through targeted charitable giving and community support initiatives. And the challenges integrating the trust structure with the culture and religious norms of Hibah require extensive legal and financial planning to ensure compliance and acceptability. Periodic adjustments to the trust terms and distribution were necessary to adapt to changing family dynamic and evolving needs over time. These case studies illustrate the potential benefits and practical consideration of incorporating Hibah into wealth transfer and legacy planning, while the successes demonstrate the synergistic value of this approach. The challenges highlight the importance of comprehensive planning, professional guidance, and adaptability to navigate the nuances and the complexities involved. By learning from this narrative, family and individuals can better understand the opportunity and obstacle in blending the strength of trust and hibah, ultimately crafting personalized strategies that align with their unique goals and priorities. That's all from me. Now let's move to Aini to explaining her part.
Assalamualaikum, I am presenter number 3, Siti Roaini binti Musa, will present to you the obstacle course, which is legal complexities Hibah implementation. The implementation of Hibah in estate planning often encounters several legal complexities. Hibah, as an Islamic financial instrument, involve the transfer of ownership of property from one person to another without any consideration during the lifetime of the donor. One significant legal challenge is the lack of uniformity in interpretation and application of Hibah laws across different jurisdictions. In some regions, the legal framework for Hibah may be well developed, while in others it may be less clear, leading to inconsistencies and potential disputes. Furthermore, the potential for legal challenges from other heirs or beneficiaries under conventional inheritance laws can complicate the implementation of Hibah, necessitating carefully legal planning and documentation. For overcoming barriers, integrating Hibah with conventional methods. Despite these challenges, there are ways to overcome the barriers to integrating Hibah with conventional estate planning methods. One approach is to ensure that Hibah arrangements are properly documented and legally recognized within the relevant legal framework. This may involve working with legal professionals who are knowledgeable about both Islamic and conventional estate planning principles to draft comprehensive Hibah agreements that meet all necessary legal requirements. By doing so, individuals can enhance the enforceability of their hibah arrangements and reduce the risk of disputes. Another strategy is to educate individuals and families about the benefits and potential challenges of hibah, as well as the steps they can take to integrate it effectively with their overall estate planning strategy. This includes raising awareness about the importance of proper documentation, understanding the legal requirements in their jurisdiction, and seeking professional advice for when necessary. Moving to the next slide. As estate planning continues to evolve, the role of hibah is likely to become increasingly significant. The evolution of hibah in estate planning reflects a growing recognition of its value as a flexible and ethical tool for wealth transfer within the framework of Islamic finance. This evolution is driven by a combination of factors including greater awareness of Islamic financial principles, advancements in legal frameworks, and the increasing demand for financial solutions that align with Islamic values. As more individuals seek to incorporate hibah into their estate planning, it is expected that legal system will continue to adapt and develop to better accommodate this unique financial instrument. Next is the evolution of hibah in estate planning. The future of hibah in estate planning holds promising developments. One anticipated trend is the formalization and standardization of hibah practice within legal frameworks, making it easier for individuals to utilize hibah without encountering legal obstacles. This may involve the creation of specialized legal instruments and guidelines that clearly outline the requirements and procedure for hibah, thereby reducing ambiguities and enhancing legal certainty. Additionally, there is likely to be an increased emphasis on education and awareness programs to inform individuals about the benefit and proper implementation of hibah in their estate planning. So, for the next slide, which is prediction and recommendation for practitioners. For practitioners, it is crucial to stay informed about the evolving landscape of hibah and its integration with conventional estate planning methods. This includes keeping up to date with legal developments, understanding the specific requirements of different jurisdictions, and being able to provide clients with comprehensive and tailored advice. Practitioners should also prioritize collaboration with legal professionals and other experts to ensure that hibah arrangements are properly documented and legally enforceable. By doing so, they can help clients navigate the complexities of hibah and maximize its benefits as part of their overall estate planning strategy. Additionally, practitioners should advocate for continued investment in legal frameworks and education initiatives to support the effective implementation of hibah in estate planning.